kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. So here's the Charger offense making their way out. Leading the charge will be their quarterback, always fun to watch, Deshaun Watson. Watson on first down. That's going to be caught by Josh Reynolds. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 14 yards there on the first play from scrimmage.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that. And that's what he did.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Off of play action, it's Watson. It's complete to Williams. Williams loses the football, and the Vikings pick up the football. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops.
No coach or team's ever happy when someone has a turnover, but if there's ever a good time to do it,
preseason.
Yeah, right now. You know that come regular season, he's going to be ready to go, and maybe he'll remember, I don't want to do this when it comes time for the games to count.
Now Saquon Barkley. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. They get 14 there. First down, Vikings. They keep it with Barkley on first down. Now Barkley stripped of the football and picked up by the Chargers. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. And I guess we're back to square one. A rocky start here. A turnover followed by a turnover.
Not exactly what we expected going into the game, but I always wonder about the nerves and people starting, the emotions of the game. Sometimes it takes a little while for that to play out and for them to settle in. Let's hope that that's taken care of now.
The Charger drive about to get going. And a fumble last time. Ball security. Talk about it all the time in the National Football League. They've got to be better at it on this drive.
Don't you think that when every team gets together for the first time, I don't care if it's OTAs, mini camps, first day of camp in the regular season, ball security comes up about what, the second sentence of the coach's address?
And there's so many drills focus on that.
All the time, and they do drills to make it even tougher to simulate game situations. Doesn't always work out, though.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. A first carry now for Kareem Hunt. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave them with 3rd and still 7 yards to go. Quickly now a look at the defensive starters for Minnesota.
Harrison Smith's play has been so good in the NFL that he demands the respect of everyone. And I remember a couple of years ago when we talked about the top safeties, his name didn't come up in the first group. It does now. I remember doing a game a couple of years ago where the Rams were trying a lot of razzle-dazzle stuff. And Mike Zimmer, his head coach, pretty much said, sick him to Harrison Smith, and he ended that in a hurry. He can play close to the line of scrimmage, can also cover deep.
Watson, off play action. He's airing it out for Williams. Looks to throw, fires right side. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. You know, last week I remember asking you, what would an offensive coordinator be looking for week 2 of the preseason? Now we're in week 3. Defensive coordinator-wise, what's he looking at?
For the most part in preseason, you're playing pretty basic stuff, pretty vanilla defenses. You're looking for guys that play with abandon, that just go out and make plays. You kind of let their athletic ability take over in order for you to notice them.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they got across the 50 last time, but fumbled and turned it over, so they'll be looking to have a short-term memory here, Mr. Davis.
Not only a short-term memory, but a whole lot better ball security. Because if they take care of the ball, continue to move it, their chances of scoring some points, they've got to feel pretty good about. They thought they had things moving in the right direction last time. Fumbles, they don't just affect you on offense, they affect your overall team, because now your defense has to make that stand up.
On first down, Carmichael gets this out to Saquon Barkley. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Saquon Barkley, 66 yards, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Well, I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, but his top two options were not available on that throw, so he went the safe route. Worked out pretty well.
It was like you were in the pocket. How about you going through the progressions like that? What a lot of offenses say, touchdown to check down. Look downfield first, bring it back to the line of scrimmage. Not easy for a rookie to do. Oftentimes they get one look, and they make their decision off of that. He went through three. That was impressive.
Out comes the kicking team here for the extra point. He's got it, and the Vikings take a 7-0 lead. The quick strike ability certainly intact there. 2 plays, 80 yards to score it. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. And the results for them have not been strong to this point. 2 drives have ended in a turnover and then a punt.
So would it be too snarky for me to say that they've shown improvement? Because you had two drives with turnovers. Now they punted it away, so at least they didn't turn it over. So that's good, right?
You're going to get some angry users reaching out to you on social media.
Well, I don't mean to be. I was actually looking for the positive. Silver lining, you know.
A gain there of 12 yards and a first down L.A.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson. Hunter Henry brings it in. And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
On second down, it's Hunt, and he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Let's set a tone, fellas. Let's set a tone. Check.
On first down, they go right back to Hunt. And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. Calais Campbell on the stop.
Brings up 2nd and 9 at their 49-yard line.
They'll run with Hunt on second down. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. That one good for 13 and a Charger first.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. That one good for 13 and a Charger first. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15.
Watch the screen. Watch the screen. Watch the screen.
They'll try the air now with Watson. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
Over the dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for second down. Now it's Watson. Complete. Hunter Henry with a grab.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Throwing on third down, Watson. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And the Vikings pick up the football. And this one will be brought back to the 22.
You know, if this is the regular season, partner, we'd be talking about just how costly a mistake that was, but probably good for him to get it out of his system right now.
Just hope for him and the team it's not a sign of things to come.
Yeah, without a doubt. Plus, got to worry about making the team. Those types of errors don't help you.
Now a play fake here on first down. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Credit the sack to Joey Bosa.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
They get 16 out of that one, but they'll still need to convert on third. Well executed there on second down, so do you go back to the air on third?
Well, that's a possibility, but now you've opened up things to where you showed that you would run the ball in long-distance situation. You might come back again because I doubt they believe you'll do it a second time.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. The Vikings send out their punter as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. Oh, it's a wobbler here. And this ball is going to be touched down just shy of midfield. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. On first down, it's Watson. He completes it to Henry. And he's got this down to the 35. It's a gain of 11 and a first down, L.A.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. And this is a guy straight out of college. They're not going to try to groom for a year or two. They want him to produce right away.
That's why they took him in the first round. They expect him to be a starter right away and a future all-pro. So they don't have any time to wait for him to come along. They want him to play right now to help this team.
And you take a look at this draft class from a season ago. Really, it grades out as a pretty darn good class.
So they have to give a lot of credit to the entire scouting organization. General manager, personnel department, college scouts, it all came together. They evaluated it very well and got a nice payoff.
An incomplete pass on second down. It muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. A shotgun snap for Watson. And that is incomplete. Problems on third down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on third down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get the third down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on first and second down.
A 52-yard attempt.
And that will line up just short. He had it on line. It ran out of gas at the end, and this score will stay right where it is.
NFL kickers nowadays, they make things look so easy because normally from this range, about 2 out of 3. And this is not an easy kick.
Yeah, 20 years ago, you get where he was in that 50 range, maybe a little over. And it's a big nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jerry Tillery breaking through to get him to the ground. It's a loss of 7.
Well, the beauty of screen passes is they take a little time to develop, and they can often hit big, but sometimes they take too long to develop, and sometimes you get sacked.
Yeah, what's perfectly called for a defense to attack a screen?
Typically a blitz, and even though people think that the screen operates against the blitz, if you have the blitz called and you still cover the screen, now that allows your blitzers to get there. And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
On third down, Barkley. And he's going to be taken down here still a couple yards short of the first. It's a pickup of 3, but it brings up what will be an interesting 4th and 1.
You know, we might start getting some props here in the booth. You know, that one that says the D and then the fence that you put up next to it. How about that? They brought out the jumbo package and still couldn't move them off the line of scrimmage enough to pick up that first down.
Impressive. They were ready defensively for that jumbo set. And no move to get the offense off the field. They'll stay put on 4th and 1. On 4th down, Carmichael. And that's caught by Smith. Touchdown, Vikings! Herb Smith Jr., 50 yards. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. That certainly went against the traditional ways of playing football, but who cares? Look at the result. Big touchdown.
They went for it on their own side of the 50. So there's conservative, there's aggressive, and there's really aggressive, which is what we just saw there. Tip of the cap to them.
Point after, right down the middle. And that'll make the score 14-zip. So that drive, 4 plays. And it's polished off by a Viking score. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
Let's go. Let's do it.
Marching back out there, ready for the next possession. Here comes the Vikings defense. And let's take a peek at some of the defensive effort here that's helped them get this first half lead.
Yeah, I remember in school, we used to...
The Charger drive. About to get going. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points. Get that 0 off the board. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Charger first down.
Good route, good pickup for first down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover. The angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
From the 45 on second down, Watson, that's taken in, complete to Reynolds. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. The Chargers on third down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This time they face a 3rd and 2. They'll try to run for the first down with Hunt. And Hunt is not going to get there. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
And this one's out of bounds. Should be inside the 10, I think it is. At the 6-yard line. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game. But this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football. Because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be second and a couple.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on first down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable second and short.
2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
And that screen there on second down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there, because trying is one thing. We can second-guess just about every call. But in this case, when you realize it is broken down, just throw it at the feet of your intended receiver so that no one can pick it off, right? You don't have the ball tipped up in the air, and you come back and try to pick up the first down on third down. That way you don't lose any yardage.
So how about this for a change in field position? From inside the 10, here's first down on the other side of the field. This is Barkley. He's got a first down and much more inside the 20. And he'll finally be taken down at the 2-yard line. That one good for 33 and a first. He was trying to dance in around the sideline, but fell just a couple of yards short. Still, he's got him in great position.
He certainly does. They did a nice job keeping him from getting into the end zone, but they are definitely back on their heels after that run.
2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's first and goal. Looking to throw. Carmichael. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Saquon Barkley ready for the regular season with his second touchdown of the game. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Extra point splits the uprights. CD, it seemed like they were so focused on the guys out wide, they forgot about him out of the backfield.
That's a really good point, because you've got to communicate, and oftentimes when you start counting receivers, that's exactly what you do. You start from the widest receiver, work your way inside. Who gets lost sometimes? The back in the backfield. That's exactly what happened there.
And he got into the end zone.
Come on, baby. Let's go.
Kareem Hunt and the rest of the offense making their way back out there. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired and they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. 4 yards the pickup, first down. On first and 10, Watson. That's into the hands of Reynolds. Now the Chargers will use the second of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. To the air yet again. Watson toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Right? On the coverage to knock that ball away was Mike Hughes.
Brings up 3rd down and 2.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2.
He can't hang.
Watson looks to throw again. And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock. These offensive starters still out there in the second quarter. You would think the plans for them to at least play into the third quarter, if not all the way through it.
Yeah, it might go by feel. If they have a really good first drive to start the third quarter, they might pull them after that. If not, might leave them out there a little bit longer. But I'll guarantee this, they'll be gone by the start of the fourth quarter.
Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And control of the football, switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. Throwing on first down. Carmichael. Eluding the pressure right. Now on the run. He'll throw it back deep over the middle. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in. We now proceed to the start of the second half. Our starters likely to be out there for the third quarter as we get back underway in this second half. Fielded about a yard deep. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep two hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10.
Hey, Alpha, let's go. Let's do.
Throwing again. Carmichael. He rifles one that's intercepted. Derwin James with a pick, and he'll bring this one back to the 29. I'm sure as a rookie, even though this is preseason, Charles, interceptions, you got to eat at you quite a bit.
They certainly do, but here's the problem that he's confronted with. He's not the high draft pick. He's not seen as the next guy. He's got to prove himself, though.
Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line.
What a nice read and play by the defensive tackle. Never bought the play-action fake. Went right for the quarterback and put him on the ground.
On second down now, it's Hunt. And they won't fare much better here as he maybe gets back to the line. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. And he completes it to Hunt. And he's not going to sniff the first down here. He stopped at the 25. They'll get 11, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
Well, that's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
And in his 15th season, he's able to get this one to go. And the deficit drops now from 21 down to 18. So he missed that field goal earlier, but he says not this time. Able to knock it through, give his guys 3.
I like his poise. I like his confidence, his belief in himself. Sometimes when you miss that first one, you see a lot of guys sag and they can't make the next one. Not in this case. Stepped right up like a pro.
Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. To throw again, Carmichael. There's the Penn State man. It's Chris Godwin. Touchdown, Vikings. Chris Godwin, 82 yards. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Solid response that time by a young quarterback. Last drive, interception. This drive, the touchdown pass.
I like how you described it, solid, because you don't get extra kudos for bouncing back if you're going to be a big-time quarterback. You're supposed to do that. But at the same time, when you're a rookie, that's not guaranteed, is it? Sometimes they hang their heads and they go in the tank a little bit. Not in this case. Bounced back, took his team downfield, and threw a touchdown pass.
Now the extra point try forthcoming. And they open the lead up now to 25 points. The long touchdown pass gets them 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be taken in at the 1. Now a hit and a loose football. And the Vikings pick up the football. And they're going to bring this one back. It's a fumble return, a scoop and score for the Vikings. So they get the 1-score kickoff, get a fumble, take it right back to the house. 2 quick touchdowns within a matter of about 10 seconds on the game clock.
It's like a big 1-2 punch that may lead to a knockout.
Extra point forthcoming. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This fielded at the 2. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 20. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Vikings will take over here first. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Here we go. Let's go.
Throwing to start the drive. Carmichael. They'll set up the screen to Barkley. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. Got to give some credit there defensively. They snuffed out that screen early on 1st down.
Really read it well, didn't they? Because they didn't bring the pressure that they expected. They covered all the passing lanes. So once you see it break down as the passer, I think in this situation, you're either throwing it at the feet of your back to make sure no one picks it off, or you throw it away, throw it over the sideline. Don't try and freelance and try and make a bigger play. There's really no one else running a pattern that should be open.
Inside 4 minutes to go, 3rd quarter.
Hey, dude. 49's the mic. Watch 49. Come on, baby. Come on, let's go.
To throw on second down. Carmichael. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. Touchdown, Vikings. Stephon Diggs. 65 yards as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
Brandon, remind me again, this is a rookie quarterback we're seeing?
A rookie indeed.
I mean, because my eyes are telling me something I'm having trouble believing. 5 touchdown passes. He's thrown 5 in this game. Are you kidding me?
Now the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end. So,
Good work, boys. Let's go. Let's go.
the Chargers offense gets set. They head back onto the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Now on 2nd and 13, Watson. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot.
Under pressure now, Watson, and down he goes. Daniil Hunter coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it also brings up 4th.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big. And now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. Here's Lachlan Edwards now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Ross on the return. That'll be a 50-yard punt with 8 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And last time out, another touchdown. And I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the fourth quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this one's just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? Who? You and me, trying to get to the airport. The roads will be fairly clear
by the time
we have to leave the booth.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. Throwing to start the drive. Carmichael. And that's caught inside the 35. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him, and he's able to do it.
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And this is recovered by the Chargers. Well, he did what he's known for. He made the catch, then he turned into a runner, took the contact, and coughed it up.
And all I remember as a player, when they catch the ball, when those acrobatic guys catch it, you have to make them pay sometimes. You have to put it on them, big tackle, knock the ball free, anything you can do to slow them down.
The Charger drive about to get going. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
A give to the brother of J.J. This is Derek Watt. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. Call it a gain of 5 that time. They'll be left with a 3rd down and about 9 to go.
I heard all the stories. I watched some of the tape of the old school guys, the throwback guys who were the punishing runners and knocked people aside to pick up yardage. I'm so glad I was sitting here today and got to see it with my own eyes.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Now Edwards to kick as he sends it away. Now here's Ross. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Vikings, they'll be set up well as they take over in great field position, 1st and 10. There he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. And nobody in the stadium feels better than he does right now. Just a slew of touchdown passes. He's been spectacular.
And you and I both know this is a team game, one of the best team games that's out there. But right now, I've forgotten what the scoreboard even says. Just watching what he's doing,
been fun.
That's been mesmerizing and a whole lot of fun to watch.
He's hoping to keep it going here in the 3rd quarter. So after the big play, look at this, all the way down at the 15 now on 1st and 10.
Alert 3. X3. 218, chop it.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Flushed out right. He'll run it. It'll be 1st and goal when we come back. We'll return with more preseason football on EA Sports. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends.
Get the ball.
They'll try and run forward with Barkley. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. So second and goal, and standing by himself in the backfield, Barkley. They'll give it to him up the middle, and he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. Saquon Barkley taking it in as his guys continue to pour it on. Point after, up and good. So another score there, and often you talk. Talk about the three phases of the game: defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a fourth phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
So they are looking strong here in the fourth quarter. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
Let's go.
Now the Chargers offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10.
At the 23-yard line.
Ready.
Here's Tannehill. And he comes back with one complete. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Give him 15 yards on that one and a Charger first down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? So 5 yards there as one of the big guys up front moved.
And in a 4-3 front, you've got the 2 defensive tackles right near the football. I know there's a lot of movement around there, but they're always taught to have one eye on the football. Apparently, that didn't happen.
Out of the gun, Tannehill. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete. Now, defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete pass that we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games without a 200-yard game. And that was a big talk, both in his town and amongst his team. How do we get the passing game going? So big credit to them holding them under 200 today.
Give them 12 yards there. The Chargers have a first down. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Now Tannehill. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same Surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
A first down there on a pickup for 25. Tannehill now just 3 of 6 throwing it, but that last completion gets a first down. Now Tannehill gets this to his running back, Jordan Howard. They call it no gain there on the first down play.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Throwing again on 2nd down. Tannehill. He completes it to Boyd. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
Came up a little short on the last pass play. They did get 9 yards out of it, leaving him with his 3rd and 1. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. It's in a 11-yard pickup. Thought they'd run it on 3rd and 1. Not the case.
Ready. 60 Pittsburgh. Right, 54. And keep it up. And 5.
To the air again. Tannehill. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Well, surprise, surprise. 1st and goal at the 1. No quarterback sneak. No running play. They decided to throw for it, but the pressure got to them quickly and put the quarterback down.
It's 2nd and goal. Back to the 8-yard line now.
We ain't beginning to clear. Get it.
On 2nd down, this is Jackson. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Only a couple yards there, and that's going to set up a long 3rd and goal. Defensively, I think they can smell a stop. Ball right around the 5 here, brings up 3rd.
And I think what they've done is they put doubt in the minds of the offensive guys. What do we do? Because now you don't have a go-to play. Either side they pick, throwing it, running it, it won't be easy.
Well, so a drive that spans all that time, and yet you may only come away with 3 points here.
Well, your defense, all right, they actually like these long drives. They get to rest over on the sidelines for a while. But when you're not finishing with points in terms of touchdowns, that's frustrating. They've got to figure out how to close out these long drives and get 6s instead of 3s.
Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
This is taken at the 3. And an excellent return there as he's up to the 35 and make it the 40-yard line.
At some point, we're going to get it through our heads. Special teams, special teams, special teams. The spark that often wins games.
Good starting field position for the Vikings as they have it 1st and 10 at the 40. Now a first carry for their fullback. And trying to push forward, but he is going to be stuffed up in the backfield. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 11. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. And now a carry here for their fullback. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first. This is where, 4th quarter, you got the lead, you give it to the big guy. defensively kind of sucks the will out of them, doesn't it? Because they don't want to tackle him right now this late in the game.
Well, you say that with accusatory tones. I mean, but you're exactly right. I know it's not something we actually want to talk about, but as a defender, 4 quarters worth of trying to bring people down, 4 quarters worth of pounding, and now late in the game, here comes that big guy coming at you, and a lot of guys are wondering where they want to come up and make that tackle at this stage of the game.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down. They'll run it here. This is their fullback getting the carry. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2. And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there.
I get the thought process, 3rd and short, give it to the fullback, let him bulldoze his way, but that means you're counting on your offensive line to win the line of scrimmage, aren't you?
Yeah, and there was just a mass of bodies there at the line. Looked like more defenders than offensive guys. Winds up losing yardage. The offense staying out. They're going to go on 4th and 2. Back to throw. Carmichael. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35. Well, we kind of looked at each other as they decided to go for it, but in the end, great execution, a 6-yard gain, and it all works out. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll try and run with their fullback, fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
A gain of a yard brings up 2nd and 9 at the 35-yard line. Tonight's final score.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being